Do you know there's a country in Africa, as of today, I'll be 18 years old. A country that is right now, as we speak, in 2018. In short, this country is called Ethiopia, located in the East Africa. Ethiopia was a country that was never colonized, and it remained one of the places that Africa got its pride. The Battle of the Adwa Mountain. I was so fortunate, I was so privileged to speak with Dr. Ayalew Sisay, a renowned professor in tourism, a professor that speaks more than 5 languages, international languages, and also the Giz language. We spoke at length, and he actually gave the full history of Ethiopia. This conversation is actually long, but I will urge you to take your time and listen and learn about Ethiopia, the tangible assets and the intangible assets, and also those tangible assets were actually broken down to pieces, movable and immovable assets, man-made and not man-made. So a lot of things that he actually diluted, talking about the Lalibela, talking about the rock-hewn churches, talking about the churches in the mountain, why those things were done. Professor Ayalew Sisay, please take it away. I know you will love this conversation. Please take your time and just learn from the professor. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Professor.
Wednesday.
Thank you very much for honoring my invitation.
You're welcome.
Can you please introduce yourself to the public?
Thank you very much. My name is Ayalew Sisay, Dr. Ayalew Sisay, and I am really a church scholar, Ethiopian Orthodox Church scholar. And then after that, I went to modern school, and I was a student of ex-Yugoslavia, where I finished 10 years there, and I got 3 BA, Masters, and PhD, and I came back home. So after that, I joined the Ethiopian tourism industry. Until now, I am working there. Of course, previously I was the government, civil servant, and after finishing that, I became a teacher, researcher, writer, and historian. This is what I can tell.
Very good, very good. My question now to you is, if Ethiopia were to be a person, how would you describe them? His history, character, and charm. And why would the world want to see them in true tourism?
All right. Historically, we begin really with the history. In short, in brief, Ethiopia is really a country of 3,000 independence, 3,000 years independence. And its history is almost, parallel to the Egyptian civilization. So the country's history is divided into pre-Aksumite, Aksumite, post-Aksumite, and Solomonic dynasty and current situation. This is really the history. The pre-Aksumite site is based on the Sabian migration, Egyptian contact, Greek contact, Roman contact, Chinese, Indian contact. So that period was really a period of interconnection, networking with the external world. And then when the Aksumite Empire kingdom came, Christianity came. Previously it was a pagan worshipping system, but Christianity came from the Alexandria. And the first, our bishop was, from Syria, but he was appointed or ordained in Alexandria by the bishop there. It was 330 AD after Christ. Okay. That means we call it AD, Anno Domini after Christ. And then from that, some 100 Egyptian bishops came, but we were struggling to have our own Ethiopian Church scholars. So in 1959, the Ethiopian scholar became the patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. This is a very big history, and then from that up to now we have 6 Ethiopian patriarchs. Of course, the others have died. So this is really the Christian history. And after the decline of Aksumite Empire was declined because of the surrounding situation.
If I may ask,
Yeah.
how many countries were included in the Asumite, you call it
Empire.
dynasty?
Yeah.
How many countries? Who are those countries today in the present situation, in the present current countries? Who are those countries?
That means
how many countries were
inside the
included?
country or outside?
Asumite
The
Empire.
Aksumite Empire, was ruling also today's Yemen,
Okay.
Sabah, Hadramaut, Kataban, and it was under the control of the Aksumite Empire externally. Internally, of course, it didn't come to the south, to the present south. It was even the country is known as not Ethiopia, it was known as Abyssinia.
Okay.
Abyssinia, but later after the coming of the Greeks with the relationship of the Aksumite Empire, its name was also added Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the land of people with burned faces or something like that, they say. This is really the empire. Of course, and it was the Aksumite Empire was known as one of the 4 great kingdoms of the world. That was Persia, China, Ethiopia, and the Roman Empire. So this is the Aksumite Empire, and of course, after the coming of Christianity, many churches were built about the churches. Probably we'll talk about later, so that to save our time. And after the decline of the Aksumite Empire, it was replaced by the Zagwe dynasty. Zagwe dynasty. Zagwe means the dynasty of Lalibela. His brothers and his ancestors, and so that is Zagwe dynasty. It began somewhere in the 9th century, ended after the 15th century. Then, after that, the Zagwe dynasty declined, and again, the so-called Solomonic dynasty. That means those people who claim that their ancestors came from the King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba and Menelik the First. So they ruled from 12 up to now, up to not now really, up to 1974, the decline or the deposed of Emperor Haile Selassie, who was 325th king of the Solomonic dynasty.
Okay.
So this is, after that, of course, it was a revolution in Mengistu came. It was a communist, government, and then the Meles, the PRDF came, and then now the present.
So
this is the history.
So now, why would people want to know them in tourism? Why?
Now, this is a very good question. As long as I'm a tourism man, I am always concentrating on the attraction of Ethiopia. The attractions are divided into man-made and natural. Natural attractions of Ethiopia are the climatic condition. That is why last time I was telling you, Ethiopian climatic condition is really very convenient and suitable for international. Now you can see just you are wearing your vest without any, overcoat and I don't know.
Exactly.
It is a very wonderful climatic condition. That is why we consider Ethiopian climatic condition as an attraction for international tourists. That is why our slogan, the previous slogan was 13 months of sunshine. Ethiopia has always sunshine every day. So you see now, you are a witness. So this is natural attraction, and the next is wildlife. We have a lot of wildlife, especially not like Kenya, like South Africa, like Uganda, and so on. Our animals are endemic. Last time I was telling you about endemic animals. That means animals, especially mammals, which are not found anywhere in the world, but only in Ethiopia.
Wow.
This is also one of, I'm not going to just...
You have the names of those animals that are...
Of course, we have, especially the big 7 mammals, Chalada baboon. This is on the Semen Mountain, and Semen fox, or Abyssinian wolf, on the Semen Mountain, Menelik bushbuck, on the Semen Mountain again. So these 3 are found on the Siman mountain, and the next two are found on the Bali mountain, which is Mountain Nyala. That is also, and Bali monkey. We did five, and the remaining are swines, hartebeest. That is also, and again, I forgot one. I don't know which one. I forgot. There are 7 big ones, but together with the small ones, they are about 50. So people, international tourists come to see these unique animals which are not found
Anywhere in the world.
anywhere in the world. And the next one is really water.
birds.
The water.
Okay.
Of course, the birds. The birds are, when we were together with the Eritreans, we had endemic birds about 24. But now when Eritrea is separated from Ethiopia, we have now in Ethiopia 18 endemic birds. I can name some of them, but it is really a killing of our time.
Yeah.
So, coming to the water bodies, Ethiopia is a country of lakes. We have so many lakes, especially in the Rift Valley. We have 8 lakes out of the Rift Valley, so many, especially in Afar you are a witness, you have seen those salt lakes.
Salt lake.
Yeah, salt
Beautiful.
lakes. Yeah, beautiful lakes. And the largest lakes in Ethiopia, which is called Lake Tana, Bahar Dar. Bahar means sea. Because of its bigness, largeness, people call it sea, not lake.
Not lake any longer.
And next time you will go there and see the island churches of Lake Tana. And after that, we can talk also about the rivers. Ethiopia is known as the water tower of East Africa. We have 14 basins. That means 14 big rivers which connect Ethiopia with the other parts of the African countries. And one big example is the Blue Nile River, which goes to the Sudan.
Okay.
1,450 kilometers from Ethiopia up to the Sudan. And it joins with the White Nile and goes to the Mediterranean Sea. This is one of the biggest, and I will stop here. And then another natural attraction is really hot springs. We are lazy enough, we didn't develop them, but 750 points of hot springs are found in Ethiopia. And if you go here in Addis, we have a very developed hot spring swimming. So this is, and the last one is landscape.
Okay.
Yeah, the landscape.
Ethiopia, interesting.
Yeah, Ethiopia is a mountainous country. Last time I told you that 70% of the African mountains are found in Ethiopia. This is a real history, and the highest mountain is Ras Dashen on the Siman mountain. Next time you will see it. And 26 mountains are above 4,000 meters above sea level, and the others are up to, if you go to Europe, they say that if they have one mountain which is high 1,000, big mountain, but if they come to Ethiopia and the mountains are, the landscape itself is very, very wonderful attraction. When tourists come, they go up to the mountain and they go down to the Rift Valley, I don't know, to the gorges and to the canyons and so on. Oh my goodness, what country is it, this one? This is really the real attraction, natural attraction. Now let me go to the man-made attraction. In the man-made attraction, as you know, that Ethiopia is a country of 80 ethnic groups. Each ethnic group has its way of life which surprises international tourists. This is one. And we divide them into movable, immovable, tangible, intangible. You see, the intangible ones are our foods, our hospitality, and
music, your dance,
music, everything which cannot be identified using the 5 senses. Perhaps your ears, you listen that when the priest sings or when our musicians sing. That is also, and our culture, our calendar, our religion, our political system. All these are intangible ones. And the tangible ones are divided into 2, movable and immovable. The movable ones are those which are found in the museums, in the church treasures, the books, the drums, the sistrum, the praying stick, everything which are, I think you have visited some museums here in Addis Ababa. So those are movable attractions, which are very, including Lucy, Ramidas, all the other skeletons which are found in Ethiopia, and which made Ethiopia to be called at the cradle of humankind.
No.
The cradle, this is one of the slogans of Ethiopia, the cradle of humankind. That means humankind emanates from here and goes to other parts of the world. Correct.
Now, you talked about the movable
Yeah.
and immovable.
Yes.
That leads me to Lalibela.
Yeah, of course.
Lalibela, I was there and I saw the amazing rock-hewn churches,
Yes.
which are so, I was blown away. It's mind-blowing, guys.
Yeah.
So, my question is, what was the brain behind Lalibela? Who constructed Lalibela and for what reason? And it's been known to be the New Jerusalem. Can you give a brief introduction of Lalibela and why tourists should visit Lalibela? Not forgetting, it's also a UNESCO.
Yes. What is it?
Yeah. So, a brief history and why you think tourists should visit Lalibela.
Okay, thank you. And now, you came to the point. Immovable ones are those which are buildings, monuments, houses, old palaces, and so on. Now we come to the Lalibela area. Lalibela is really, as you said, that the holy city and second Jerusalem, wonderful of the world, which is registered by UNESCO. By the way, UNESCO registered here in Ethiopia about 13 immovable attractions. 13.
Okay.
And plus the one which are movable, like books and so on, altogether they are 30.
30.
Which are registered by UNESCO. Now coming to Lalibela. Lalibela was really carved by the Lalibela himself. He established a council in which he was a chairman, his wife also a chairperson, and around him there were many experts. He gathered stonemasons. He paid them according to their skill. So the carving of the church took him according to the book hagiography, which is written in parchmentus. Unfortunately, if I were there with you, I could have brought that parchment and translate from Giz because I am a Giz expert.
Really? You understand Giz?
Yeah. I speak it like.
How many languages do you speak then?
How
do you understand?
I speak really English. I speak French. I speak Italian, and I speak Serbo-Croatian, which is a Yugoslav language.
This is an encyclopedia sitting with me right here.
So I could have translated that one from the parchment book to the English or whatever language you like. Anyway, that book tells us that Lalibela was helped by the angels, by the Holy Spirit, by the angels. Even it says that when the stonemasons worked in the daytime, the angels were working their own shift at night, and in the daytime, when the stonemasons came, the work had been done more.
Wow.
Who did it?
Angels.
The angels. Wow. This is really, Ethiopians believe in God, truly in God, and they think that each and everything done by them is God's really accomplishment. This is really.
So why should tourists visit this place?
It is
what can they derive from there?
Well, they can, they see that, many tourists, even I go with them, they say that, do you think that this is the work of human beings? What do you think? I say, what do you think? Is it the work of God, angels, and they came using, access and did it? Human beings did it, but behind them, there was a courage of the Holy Spirit, and there was endurance and so on. Even myself, I tell you frankly, when I go to Lalibela again, and I was brought there, it is surprising for me, even beyond my imagination. This is what I can tell you, and the tourists will be surprised like I am surprised, and they see, and even, I don't know, Bete Georgis, you have seen Bete Georgis, Bete Emmanuel, Bete Medallion, Bete Maria, all these monolithic churches, which are not really attached to the main rock, in any side except on the ground. So you see that. And they were then top down.
Top down,
Top down. Because this is the land, they were standing there, but they saw that. Even, one man asked me that there was no water engineer. If there is water inside and after finishing, it will be filled by the water.
Yeah.
What about that? And
Yeah.
there was a spiritual water engineer.
Connection.
Yeah, a connection. So they knew that there was no water there, so they did it. They did it. In one place, about 10 or 11 rock-hewn churches are carved and, of course, supported by this one. This is in brief. Okay.
That is very good.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I have visited the rock-hewn churches in Lalibela. Try to visit because words alone cannot describe how it actually really looks like, you know. So, moving forward,
Yes.
I have visited Abuna Yemata in the Gerata region, which is in the Tigray region, right?
Yes,
If I'm right. So, what was the reason behind the Abuna Yemata and also most of the churches in the Gerata regions?
Yes.
Why would a church be in the sky?
Now, this is really... Okay, I stopped.
Yeah.
It is really, we say that when tourists, when they climb to the mountain, they consider themselves like a god because everything is below them, except the God who is above.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
I think when human beings go to the high mountain, they think that they are very near to God. Perhaps these people wanted to be very near to God. This is my assumption.
Okay.
But the main thing is at that time, there were many. There were. Did you?
Continue, sir.
There were many enemies of Christians. I tell you, in the 16th century, all the churches of Ethiopia were destroyed by the Lieutenant General who was a Muslim and who was against. It is a kind of Ethiopian crusade. Therefore, these saints, like the 9 saints, like Abuna Imata, Abba Girma, Abuna Aragawi, these are the 9 saints. So they wanted to have their churches on the high mountain so that they are not accessible by the enemies. For example, if you go to Debre Damo, you have to
Climb
with the help of
the Bedama Monastery.
Yeah, the main thing is, I think, they to make their churches safe and from attackers and non-Christians and so on. This is what I can conclude. All the mountains like Qorqor Mariam, Qorqor Abba Daniel, Abuna Imata, Qamar Arbaitunsa, Mikael, and there are so many which I know. So these are all on the mountains. After all, the mountains are also the places where the rocks are found very easily.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Also, moving forward, I also visited the Afar region, which is so fascinating. And I found out that over there you're having natural resources just laying down, which is the salt desert. Again, I was blown away. Why is it that these resources that Ethiopia has is not being known in the world? Because before I came to Ethiopia, I never saw a video of the Salt Lake, even the Salt Desert, and of course I saw Dalo, which is the most colorful area in places on Earth.
Yeah.
Why is it that these things are not being made to the public?
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, this Rift Valley, this Dalo is created because of the Great African Rift Valley.
Also the volcano.
Yeah, the volcano, yes, the volcano. It started from Syria and crossed Afar. It was up to Mozambique, incorporating about 14 countries of Africa, including Ethiopia. So this is known as the Great Rift Valley of East Africa. Now, the depression is in Ethiopia. Dalo, which is about 116 or 120, something like that.
Sorry, before you continue, sir.
Yeah.
Why is it called Danica Depression? Do you have any explanation to that?
Yeah, Danakila are the people.
Danica, the people. Okay,
The
depression?
people. Depression.
Am I it's like somebody's depressed.
Yeah. That is, it is not like that in English.
Yeah.
Depression means the land is submerged down.
Oh.
That is depression.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has to do with the earth.
Yes.
Depression. Okay.
Yeah. Depression means
Ground.
it has goes down. Depressed down.
Okay.
This is depression. This is
All right,
depression.
all right.
The Dalo depression, and that is the hottest area in Ethiopia, 50 degrees centigrade. And you
was
have
there.
seen that
Yeah.
active volcano just coming up and going down and so on. When you go there, if somebody escapes and goes there, it is roasted and
Yeah.
disappear.
Yeah.
So, coming to your point, why not Ethiopia promoted this really wonderful natural catastrophe to the world? It is a matter of capacity, perhaps financial capacity and knowledge capacity and commitment. If you go to the tourism sector, you have to be committed, forget your family, think of the country, and you have to be competent enough, and you have to have some money and somebody who helps you from outside. After all, we are black. You understand?
Yeah.
If a black speaks the truth and a white man speaks the false, or the untruth, they accept the untruth instead of the truth.
Exactly.
So you have to have somebody who helps you from outside, some agent, so that he can really develop in. For example, if you release this, your YouTube or whatever, perhaps the Nigerians will believe you.
Yeah.
If an Ethiopian releases that one, they say what they mean, the cradle of mankind, the birthplace of coffee, what. So they have to be told by another person. So we have to use this strategy so that Ethiopia can be known, and we have to fight. First of all, we have to be committed. This is my question always. We are not committed. We are not committed.
Committed
Everybody is sleeping and sitting on the comfortable chair and making it like this and like that. So no, we have to work hard. We have everything in this country, as you have seen it. So the only thing is we have to make it known to the world.
Exactly. So, making it known to the world, who do you think it falls on? The government, the citizen, the private sector, or maybe the outsider? Who is supposed to propagate? Who is supposed to make this campaign? Or are there strategies you think this campaign should be made true?
Yes, nominally, yes. Now, like the churches of Lalibela, it must begin top down. Do you understand? Top down. The government must make a master plan and general strategy and release it down to the private sector, to each individual, to Ethiopian. And the Ethiopian must understand what the government plan is. It is hand in hand. Otherwise, joint tourism is a sector which touches every sector. Economic sector, agricultural sector, industry, service, and so on.
Yeah.
All these are really touched by the tourism, and they are stakeholders. All this join hands, the hotels, the tour operators, travel agencies, starting from the government, they have to promote this one. And of course, we have to network ourselves to the entire world, because there are so many tour organizers who organize tours to bring those people to Ethiopia. We have to go there and discuss. First of all, we have to be multilingual, and at least if we speak a single language, we have to be fluent. So we have to go there. And of course, we have to ask them to represent Ethiopia. Of course, there is no free lunch. They have to be paid.
Yeah.
This is really what I can say.
Very fine. So back to history again, because the Queen Sheba of Aksum, why did she go to King Solomon and brought had Menelik from Solomon? What was the reason behind that? I mean, because that story was too confusing for me as an outsider. So can you throw more light on that? And also the Adwa Mountain, the reason why it's being called the Pride of Africa?
Thank you.
I'm trying to bring so many questions in one.
Well, just we'll make it in brief. Queen of Sheba, first of all, last time, previously I told you that Ethiopia and Yemen were together. They were ruled by one king. And probably this queen was ruling Yemen and Ethiopia. And at that time, Solomon, 930 BC, before Christ, before the birth of Christ, he was ruling in Israel. And he was a wise man, a wisdom, full of wisdom. And this woman heard about him, and she went there to listen from the horse's mouth the wisdom of God, which was really in him. But, the Ethiopian version says that when she got there, Solomon was impressed by her beauty, and he made her to be, he gave her, food which is full of salt and spices, and he didn't give her water at night. She was thirsty, and the water was also in his side, so she went to drink, and he caught her, and he slept there with her, and she became pregnant. And coming back, she delivered to a son who is Menelik, the son of the wise man. Wise man is Solomon. And he became the founder, according to the tradition, of course, he became the founder of the Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia. This is the history. This is the history in brief. Now, another question you posed. The Ado Mountains. And these mountains are really wonderful mountains. You have seen them, I think, when you were in Aksum. Just if you leave Aksum and go toward the Adwa, you will see them from afar, from a distance. So these mountains were really wonderful mountains which stood at the side of the Ethiopian warriors when the Italians wanted to colonize Ethiopia in 1896. You see, with well-armed 20,000 Italian soldiers and the Askaris, that is the mercenaries from different African countries like Somali, because it was their colony, from Libya and so on. So the mountains helped the Ethiopian warriors, the Ethiopian patriots, and the Italians were defeated. It was the time when the African countries were under colony. So when the Italians were defeated by the black people, Ethiopians, we say that it is the pride of Africa, because all Africans who were under colony was encouraged, stimulated, and they understood that the white people will be defeated by the black people. So everybody from Africa, stimulated, encouraged, and took arms and fought against the white people, the colonizers, and defeated them. And after that, of course, to defeat the white people, they established the Organization of African Union, which is located here in Addis Ababa, and that was under the council of those people, the leaders, like Jomo Kenyatta, like Kaunda, like the Nigerian one, Yakubu Gowon, and others who were really great leaders of the Africans. They joined the hundreds and they defeated the last one, South Africa.
Oh,
this is why the pride of Africa.
Pride of Africa.
Yeah, pride of
Talking about Adwa Mountain, very close to the Adwa Mountain is the Dobredamo Monastery.
Yeah.
Because I was there, and the monastery, according to what is being said there, only male are allowed in that monastery.
This is a good question.
Why?
Let me explain to you. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church has two parts of women and men. Monastery monk is the man. Monastery, from this came monastery.
Monks.
And
okay.
Monks, and then nuns. There is also nunnery.
Okay.
So to serve their God, they have to be separated. Because monks are not married, and nuns are not married. Those non-married must be, so that it is a matter of sex, gender, not to see each other. The women must be in separate nunnery, and the men should be in separate monastery. Because of that, in the monastery, women are not allowed to go, and in the nunnery, the men are allowed, because the nuns are not priests. So to serve God and to give them the Holy Communion in that nunnery, that the monks go there and give service and come back. Otherwise, there is no.
Do you think that is fair?
Yeah.
You think it's fair?
Religiously, yes. It is not discrimination. You have to understand this. You know, some people say that it is discrimination. No, it is not discrimination. Because, you know, if you see a beautiful girl, you'll intend to have her. And if you see a beautiful nun, and from serving of God, you'll convert your idea to the woman. So to separate this one, this is the system of the church. Otherwise, it's not discrimination.
It's not discrimination, you said. So, okay, now, conclusively, why is it that in Ethiopia you have different calendar,
Yes.
different year, and different, I would say, of course, you were the country that was never colonized. So what brought about you having a different calendar?
Yeah, our calendar, you know, it is ancient calendar, which is known as, some say that it is Julian, but it is a mixture of Julian calendar, that one is Gregorian, you understand? Which is used by the entire world is known as Gregorian. It was a Bishop Gregory who converted the Julian calendar into Gregorian calendar by his own calculation in 1580 and something like that, the 16th century. But Ethiopian calendar, the ancient one, which is really related to the Egyptian calendar. So I was talking to you last time, it is behind some 8 years and some months and something like that. So our calendar is completely different. It is a church calendar. So each month has only 30 days, not 31, not 28 and something like that. 30 days, but at the end of the year, the remaining 5 days are made to be 1 month. That is why we say 13 months. And after the leap year, that means after 4 years, 1/4 minutes will be gathered and become 1 day, and that means 66 days instead of 65 days. So this is our calendar. And of course...
Why do you have a different year? We're in, right now, having this interview, we are in 2025.
Yes.
And but your year, I don't know, what year are you now?
Now we are 2017.
2017. Why do you have a different year?
You know, some say that the Ethiopians, you know, heard the birth of Christ late after 8 years. It is not true. It's not true. The Ethiopians just following the birth of Christ, even after the birth of Christ, just 40 days when Saint Peter was preaching Christianity, Ethiopians were there. It doesn't mean that we are behind 8 years. It is a matter of calculation. In the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, there are highly qualified experts who calculate the birth of Christ and where to begin the calendar. If we go there, well, of course it will take you time to understand that one after the calculation. Otherwise, that is why now they say that the Europeans, you know, advanced a little bit, 8 years forward, but Ethiopians kept the right time of the birth of Jesus Christ, and they counted from there.
So you are right now in 2017, right?
Yes.
Next year will be 2018.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are behind 8 years.
Okay.
Behind the Gregorian calendar.
Okay.
This is
so
it.
How do you then do business with the outside world?
Yeah. Now, with the outside world, we use both. That means in our calendar, for example, if we have a calendar, the Ethiopian calendar and the European calendar or the Gregorian calendar are written side by side. So when we write letters to the foreign country, even sometimes we put also the Amharic letters so that it is a kind of promotion that we have a special letter than the alphabet, the English alphabet. Therefore, we leave, most of the time we leave our letters and we write in the English letter and use the European calendar. So even the organizations which are working here, like United Nations Economic Commission for Africa and the African Union and other international countries, they use the European calendar, but from local government organizations, they use Ethiopian calendar.
That's really, really insightful. That's really an eye-opening. So conclusively,
Yes.
what would you like to, is there any final word from you on this, our interesting interview, interesting conversation? What would you have to say to the outside world? And just a conclusion, what would you like to say conclusively?
Of course that I was explaining in brief about the resources, tourism resources of Ethiopia. Ethiopia is really very, very rich culturally, naturally, everything, and tourists are invited, which I didn't say is about the people. About the people. Ethiopian people are friendly people and they welcome you open-handed. Please come to Ethiopia and enjoy this uncolonized and wonderful, hospitable country. This is really the word which I say. And welcome to Ethiopia, the land of, the origin of, I don't know, we say land of origin. That means land of, previously I told you that it was 13 months of sunshine country, and today we say that land of origins. Origins means the first ones like Lucy, and like the Blue Nile, like the calendar, and like the alphabet of Ethiopia, and like, I don't know, many things are found here in Ethiopia, which are never found anywhere in the world. Please come, and 30 attractions which are registered by UNESCO. You'll enjoy all this, and you'll see the beautiful faces of Ethiopians and their hospitality.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are welcome, sir. You are welcome. And
guys, that's the end of the interview.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
visit Ethiopia.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And we appreciate your coming to Ethiopia.
Thank you.
And I
It's
hope
a
you will
pleasure.
come again
Yeah, definitely.
and enjoy the remaining parts of the world.
Definitely.
If I am alive, I'm a little bit old enough.
Yeah, you will. You're strong. You're still very strong. Yeah.
And we'll say hello each other.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.